Funding for this video series was made possible by the USDA National Institute of Food and Agriculture's Beginning Farmer and Rancher Development Program.
Liberty is a 55-plus-year-old produce wholesale company, family owned the entire time. We do a very nice mix of different kind of business, a lot of retail, also deal with restaurants, schools, hospitals, so we kind of run the entire gamut of the produce universe, I guess, in terms of wholesale distribution. There's something about the people and knowing the farmers themselves, knowing that we're procuring from folks that have a certain approach to their business that they're obviously very passionate about, and being able to then turn around and deliver that to our customers. Our customers also, I think, are attached to understanding not just what their food is and why it's good, but now I think it's gone to the point where they want to know where it comes from. They want to know who is behind that, right? With local food, it's really trying to translate that product story from the field to the customer, just the way we're trying to carry the product. And I think that I like having that extra responsibility and that extra opportunity to kind of communicate more about the people and not just the product itself. We're working very hard with our retail customers to not just say, hey, we want to sell you local, but also we have a few things we're working on to help them merchandise local differently and help them market, again, the story behind the product. And we just see it growing considerably.
I'm Lori Danella. I'm the Nutrition Director for the Lee Summit School District. Our district has a population of about 18,200. We have 24 buildings, 18 elementaries, 3 middle, and 3 high schools. We have salad bars in all 18 elementaries now, and we are implementing salad bars in our 6 secondary schools. There is a large need for farm to school because we want to purchase local. The product is a lot fresher, and I think the product tastes better for the students, and it gives them the satisfaction of knowing that it came from a local farm. They can relate to it more, and when we can taste test and let them know about the farmers that we are purchasing from, it creates a story for them. And children learn more by stories and remember more by stories.
What I like about working with local food is that it's a win-win situation. Everyone benefits, the local farmers, the local economy, the local community, and also the people that are consuming the food, because for one, there's financial benefits for the small farmer. I mean, a lot of these farmers are small families, maybe it's their only job, so they're living off selling cases of tomatoes, lettuce, carrots, beets, each season, whatever they're selling, so they're living off of that. When we purchase from them, we're supporting their family. Yeah, I'm Kyle Williams. I'm the executive chef and general manager for Blue Cross and Blue Shield in downtown Kansas City. So when we're buying local, it's less travel time. Products are gonna be harvested at their proper time. I would say the top local food items that we purchased was obviously spring and summer. So tomatoes, lettuces, squash, zucchini. We do a lot of pickles in the cafe, so I'm buying a lot of pickling cucumbers. So that's typically what we purchase. We'll also purchase meat and eggs. The things I would like to see more of is the fall and winter produce. Rutabaga, turnip, parsnip, carrot, beets, Brussels sprouts. I think we do spring, summer really well, but I think we need to start transitioning and start planting and harvesting fall and winter produce. So yeah.
I'm Teresa Kelly, and I'm the Operations Director for the Kansas City Food Hub, a farmer-owned, farmer-run cooperative.
I'm Alicia Ellingsworth. I'm the Farm to School Director for the KC Food Hub.
So the Food Hub is a farmer-owned, farmer-run cooperative. So we work with our farmer members to sell their produce within the community, creating a cooperative economy. One of the great things about selling local produce for us is developing those relationships with farmers. Those are seasonal relationships, so we get to pass that seasonal education on to our customers. For a farmer who has outgrown growing for farmers market or their farm stand and they have extra, we're a great outlet because we can take them and move them and help them scale up to be able to package and market and grow for a larger market, and then we can sell it for them.
As a farmer, it's super easy to work with the Food Hub. I list my product early in the week. It goes out to the buyers. Teresa lets me know what I need to pack and where I need to deliver it by, and then she takes it from there.
So the way that we approach our local growing partners, first thing I tell my buying staff is it is not the same as buying that same commodity from a grower in California. It's very different. Growing costs are very different. I think a lot of people maybe that aren't in the business think, well, it's local, it's closer, less freight, it should be less expensive. It's actually quite the opposite. We understand that, and we also work to try to educate our customers in that way that local product, there are qualitative benefits to it. It's not going to likely be, with very few exceptions, it's not likely going to be a cost advantage. So the way that we work with our farmers is, number one, we pay them a fair price for their product no matter what. We're not taking product on consignment and saying, if we sell it, we'll pay you. That's been a big problem, I think, with a lot of local growers wanting or understanding what it takes to do wholesale business. And I've been in the produce business for a very long time, and as long as I've been in it, we've fought that, I think, on the wholesale side. That needs to be changed. Local growers need to trust their wholesale partners. And so we will buy it at a price that we know is fair, we pay them quickly, and there's not an expectation on Liberty Fruit's part that there is some kind of a pricing or cost advantage to selling local. There's a value in local, but it has to be recognized by all the parties involved. And I think that's the mistake a lot of wholesalers make, is they may see it as a cost advantage that they can potentially even pass on to their customers. We see it purely as a qualitative advantage that we can market to our best customers. So we find local farmers in a number of ways. Likely the most prevalent is they find us, and there's a lot of farmers. There's not a ton of wholesalers, so it's not that they have to flip through some kind of a directory to find us. But we also challenge our procurement staff to network, to learn about new farms that we haven't worked with before. I think our customers are also resources there, because oftentimes we'll see, say for instance, a restaurant might buy directly from a local farmer, but they want to be able to buy that farmer's product every day that we make a delivery. And so they'll say, hey, did you ever think about maybe contacting this particular grower? I'd love to buy his tomatoes. Or have you ever contacted this farmer? I would love to buy her kale. And so what we'll do then is get linked up via a customer relationship, and that then develops into a business relationship between us and that particular grower. Obviously, our value proposition for the farmers, is that we give them a fair price. We're going to pay them, and we're going to pay them quickly, but we're also going to hopefully make their operation easier in that we can either pick up at their place and, you know, where they may have had to make 20 different stops with all these products, we can make that one pickup from their farm, and then that goes on our trucks to 20 of our customers, right? So I do find that our existing customers that we share with growers can be a great resource for us to find new relationships. Your major movers are always going to be your what we call drive edge, right? So you've got your squash, you've got, you know, cabbage, peppers, tomatoes are always a big mover. We'll get into leafy too, and that's something I'd like to see a little bit more of as people get into growing, you know, specialty lettuces, which, you know, done properly, there's no comparison to a locally grown leaf product to something you're going to get from far away. There's no better tasting lettuce than right out of the field. I mean, it's just, you can't replicate that.
So there are a lot of crops that we are able to sell for farmers. They're staples, and there are a lot of things that we can't get enough of. Cherry tomatoes is something I grow on my farm. We have a lot of hands, so we grow a lot of cherry tomatoes and pick a lot of cherry tomatoes. Before I plant or plan, I always talk with Teresa to make sure that there's a need there, but cherry tomatoes are something that are always sellable, always in demand, and always delicious.
A lot of our growers, because tomatoes are one of their largest crops, don't come full on board with the food hub distributing through us until their tomatoes come in. So we look forward to having not only the cherry tomatoes, but also the standard slicing tomatoes, the paste tomatoes, and then the ever popular heirloom tomatoes.
Standardized packaging is very important. Our heirloom tomatoes are packed and shipped in 10-pound flats. We have 20-pound red tomato boxes, and our cherry tomatoes are packed in pints, 12 per box.
Season extension has become key to extending the market window for crops like tomatoes. So we encourage you to try that, and if you need help, we can help you with that.
So yeah, no, tomatoes are great. We love working with tomatoes. You know, typically in my restaurant at Blue Cross and Blue Shield, we use a lot of 5x5 sliced tomatoes for sandwiches. You know, so we're going through cases and cases of those for sandwiches. We'll also do cherry tomatoes. We'll also do heirloom tomatoes, which, you know, everyone loves in a cafe. It's, you know, fresh heirloom tomatoes, extra virgin olive oil, salt, pepper, you know, balsamic, fresh basil, and then people eat that up all day long. So for me, it's a passion of mine to think about what's the health benefit of what we're eating. For example, tomatoes is high in lycopene. It's an antioxidant. So tomatoes are in season in summer. You know, what do we get in summer? We get sunburns, and so it's a win-win situation where it's like you have your local heirloom tomatoes, you get a little sunburn from being at the lake or something at the pool, and then you have some lycopene from that tomato, and it actually helps, you know, heal your body up from the inside.
We service a lot of white tablecloth restaurants, and your white tablecloth chefs want different stuff for their menus, right? And so the heirloom variety tomatoes speak to that particular customer a great deal. By and large, the round slicers are going to move volume. The heirloom's going to be something that kind of is a little sexier, that can differentiate, you know, that produce department or that chef's menu.
For tomatoes, we not only purchase regular tomatoes for salads and for slicing on sandwiches. We do grape tomatoes and we do cherry tomatoes because we have salad bars. And one of the things that we purchased were heirloom tomatoes. And many of the students had never seen a purple or a yellow tomato before. And we were able to educate them and teach them what a different tomato was, how they're grown, why they're grown. And they really enjoyed, and having the new taste, they were asking for more.
Cucumbers are a really fun crop. We all know about the slicers, and a lot of people buy slicers. There's also a lot of varieties that we could sell. That's the really cool thing about the hub, is that we are kind of that middle market where we can move some slicers, but we can also move gherkins. Our standard cucumber boxes are 20-pound half bushels. We also sell 40-pound 1 1/9 bushels. We're always willing to talk with the farmers and make sure that we are able to adapt our box sizes for the kind of cucumbers they are selling. But always super important is standard size within the box. We want all the cucumbers in one box to be the same size, the same shape, and the same variety.
Cucumbers are great. There's the European size, there's the regular cucumber, then there's the pickling size. So we typically purchase the Euro for slicing, for salads, or for making a cucumber tzatziki sauce. We also make our own pickles in-house, so we're always requesting local when possible. So we are pickling the fresh cucumbers when they come in. All the local cucumbers I've received from this area have been really good.
We buy kind of all all varieties of cucumbers locally in terms of our, what we would just call our slicers. So your 24 count, even we can do a 36 count, cuke. And then your selects and super selects. Those are going to be your, various size, larger case, not the 24s and 36s are your smaller case cucumbers. We buy all of them locally. I think what we see more of is probably the slicers. And that probably makes a lot of sense too, in that, most retail outlets want that standard size. Again, in our case, we want a 24 count when we can get it, but that's primarily what we buy in terms of cucumbers.
All students love cucumbers. We offer different types of ranch dressing, and we'll make some yogurt dips and some different items, but they like cucumbers on their salads. They like them just to dip. We've seen students put them on sandwiches. That's a big thing. We've taught them that cucumber is where pickles come from, and a lot of students don't know that. We also have made pickles. We've done the refrigerator pickles, and we had students come in from our nutrition council, and we actually made the pickles from cucumbers. We purchased some locally, and then we also grew some in some school gardens. And that was a big event for the students, being able to see the vegetable, learn how to cut the vegetable, how to clean it properly, and then go ahead and make the pickles and be able to eat them on their sandwiches.
We use 1 1/9 boxes for cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower. Usually there's about 40 pounds of cabbage in a box, and we can squeeze about 25 pounds of broccoli or cauliflower in this size box.
The thing that we look for when we're selling, because we do some repacking for individual sales, is we want uniformity. We would like to have everything the same size rather than find something in there the size of a basketball and then a bunch of softballs. So just being mindful of the pack when you're harvesting.
We can always sell more broccoli and cauliflower. If your farm grows good broccoli or cauliflower, let's talk. Schools love it, corporate cafeterias love it. It's in such high demand. We've not been able to provide enough broccoli and cauliflower at any time that we've been in business.
Again, broccoli is incredible. It's, for the health benefit, it fights cancer. It's one of the #1 cancer fighters, especially when it's eaten raw. So we buy a lot of broccoli. It's very popular, whether we're putting that in raw into a salad or whether we're steaming that. We see a high demand for broccoli from our customers. So if broccoli is on a dish, steamed broccoli or sauteed broccoli, and it sells itself. So we definitely use a lot of broccoli, whether it's whole heads or florets. And when it comes to cabbage, we love using cabbage. It's great fiber content. It's great for digestion. So we'll use a lot of cabbage, purple cabbage, green cabbage, Napa cabbage. We'll slice it, we'll make salads. One of our most popular items is a Asian cabbage slaw with Napa cabbage, chopped with cilantro and scallions and bean sprouts. We'll also use that in our Asian stir fry. We'll even throw in a little bit of broccoli with that, and our customers really like it.
When it comes to broccoli in particular, this is one of the items that I would say there's a significant difference Not saying better or worse, but there's a big difference between a locally grown broccoli and the West Coast broccoli that people use day in, day out, right? It's different texture, sizing tends to be different. There's a different tenderness in a lot of cases when it comes to the broccoli. When it comes to cabbage sizing, we'll look for both the large and the smaller. Skewing more to the larger probably, 16 heads, something like that. Something that we know can work for both food service and retail.
Broccoli, they really enjoy. We have steamed broccoli on our menu once a week. We have to do a dark green vegetable, and that's the most favorite. So we always do steamed broccoli, and then we also serve raw broccoli, and we put it on our salad bar, and we teach them how they grow because broccoli is so unique on the way it grows. So we always do nutrition education, and in our nutrition councils we introduce why it looks the way it looks, and the part that you eat and the longer stalk that you don't eat. Cabbage, we do two things with it. We steam the cabbage, and we also make coleslaw out of it. The kids love coleslaw. You wouldn't think elementary students would like coleslaw, but as long as you put some purple cabbage in with it to give it color, and you put carrots in it, you've got 3 veggies in that, and they love it.
Food Hub moves all kinds of lettuces. It's a big crop for us. So we move romaines, we move butterheads, we move mixed greens, we move salanovas. So, and season extension again is key to that. It's a cool season crop. So we look for that early. We always have a market for it early, and then we can look at it again in the fall. So typical packs for our lettuce, a head lettuce could go into this box easily, packed in bulk. But if you're going to pack any other types, the leaf lettuces or anything, you would want to put a liner in here. We also pack individual clamshells, and the cut lettuces would be bagged.
Local lettuce it's really easy to find. We use a lot of that, mixed spring mix. Heads of lettuce, we'll chop it up, maybe we'll add a little bit of cabbage to that and toss it in together. The opportunity for lettuce growers is that, for one, people typically always crave salads spring, summer, because we're coming out of winter, we're trying to lose weight, whatever, we're trying to eat a little more fresh, a little low cal, high pH. So your peak season is gonna be spring, summer. You should have no problem selling lettuce during those times. However, I will say that people still love to eat salads fall and winter as well. It's always going to be popular to have a salad.
When it comes to leafy items, lettuces, obviously West Coast has dominated that forever. And, Salinas is called the salad bowl of the world for a reason, and we load several trucks a day in Salinas, and there's a lot of it is various lettuces, obviously iceberg, romaine, leaves, etc. Local lettuce is one of those items that I think needs to be promoted very differently than your West Coast product. Some of it is excellent, and what I like seeing is that I think more growers are getting into specialty, tender leaf type items, more baby lettuces and more of almost a spinach substitute type for salads and things, and I think those are very marketable products.
Lettuce is probably our largest purchase. We do salads every day. We have the salad bars every day. We use leaf lettuce and different lettuce on sandwiches. The students really love lettuce and tomato. We offer that daily for sandwiches. Kindergarten through high school students, it doesn't matter what age. Last year we purchased some butter lettuce, and actually some of my managers had never seen or worked with butter lettuce before, so that was kind of a teaching tool for them also. And I like the butter lettuce because it's more tender. I think it has a milder flavor, and it also lasts longer. But we use head lettuce, we use romaine lettuce, we use leaf lettuce, we use all types of lettuce in our department.
The Food Hub's summer squash market is fairly saturated, but we encourage you to work together, and we encourage succession planting and crop planting because we can sell it as long as we have it. Typically a pack is 20 pounds. The most desired size for summer squash is 6 to 8 inches long.
When it comes to local squash, we'll purchase a lot of like yellow squash and green zucchini. It's an easy sell. You get them in, it's easy clean, easy prep, wash them off, cut them, roast it with olive oil, salt and pepper, and you can serve that along like a grilled salmon and brown rice. So it is an easy sell. When it comes to the sizing of squash and zucchini, I have never had an issue with it. I mean, they're always a great size. They're really easy to prep. You get them in and you just cut them up, whether you're dicing or whether you're slicing. So I think that's probably one thing we're probably doing really well.
Yeah, as far as summer squash, which are very popular items for us, and probably I would say maybe the items that are most widely grown by a lot of different farmers. We're looking for primarily when it comes to zucchini, for instance, we're looking for a 20-pound box, a half bushel, 26 to 30 count in a case. Same thing with yellow squash. We can use the full bushel products, and we sell some of those, but for retail and really most food service applications, you're going to want that 20-pound case. And again, that's something that it's widely available, which is good because the demand for it and it continues to increase. And so, we can move as much as we can buy. It's more of a demand exceeds supply more often than not.
Summer squash we usually start purchasing in the fall. That's usually the prime time. We roast it in our combi ovens and we put seasoning on it. We slice it thin and put it in the combis, and it still makes it a little bit crunchy, kind of crispy, but still tender on the inside, and the students just love trying it that way.
Sweet peppers are sold in a 1 1/9 bushel box, 25 pounds. If we're selling green peppers for you, the whole box needs to be green peppers. If you'd like to sell ripe peppers, colored peppers can be mixed, red, yellow, and orange in the same box. Within the same box, we need the peppers to be of the same size. We are happy to sell large peppers. We are happy to sell small peppers, but in the same box, the size needs to be the same.
The Food Hub enjoys selling our farmers' peppers because we get such a great variety. We get all the different colors, red, green, yellow. We get green peppers. We get purple peppers. We get the small salad box salad peppers. And so it's just a delight to be able to offer our customers those types of different things that they might not necessarily be able to find anywhere else.
If you're planning to sell hot peppers through the Food Hub, let's talk. There's a big market for hot peppers, particularly jalapenos, wax, and poblanos. If you want to grow the really hot ones, then some planning ahead of time will need to be done. Give us time to find the buyer for the peppers you want to grow.
Come into summer, September, it's like peppers going crazy. It's bell peppers, it's jalapenos, serranos, red chilies, Fresnos, habaneros. We use a lot of peppers. We make chili every week in the cafe, so we're always going through cases of red bell peppers because we cut those fresh and we throw those in. Yeah, so the availability with local peppers is a very short window. But another thing we do to be creative is, there's an abundance of peppers. So I think what I do and a lot of other great chefs in the city do is they'll pickle them, right? They'll make a jardiniere, or they'll make, pickled jalapenos or serranos. So even though maybe not necessarily need to grow tons of peppers during the winter, there's still ways to can and preserve those types of peppers.
Yeah, so when it comes to peppers, we use everything from the full bushel, 25-pound cases of choppers. So food service, that's big, right? You've got your irregular size pepper that can be, sent to a restaurant and used, and cooked. We use mediums, larges, extra larges. Extra large, great for retail. So I'd love to see as much really nice block-shaped, extra-large peppers. The more of those we can get, the better, because retailers always want those. Colored peppers obviously are in growing demand as well. We don't see as much of those locally. We see some reds, and ultimately farmers always have some kind of suntan offering, right? And the same thing with the reds and golds. We use the chopper 25-pound cases, 11-pound open cases, which are more your traditional bell shapes. And I think we have a nice supply of peppers. And really, we do a lot with local programs, even for our chain customers. So come summertime, we're sourcing and supplying them with 100% local peppers, in some cases tomatoes, because they have a commitment to their customers that, hey, during the season we're going to use as much local as we can get. And so I think peppers are one of the things that we see a lot of volume, even running through our chain accounts, versus, again, like a lettuce, you're not going to see that. But I think peppers are definitely very much in demand across the board, especially in food service.
We use green peppers, we use red peppers, we use yellow peppers. When the little mini peppers are available, the students love those. They like the fact that they're little and they can just take a bite out of it. We usually dice peppers, we slice them, we'll do them in rings, and we usually serve those raw. We'll cook a few when we do fajitas, but the kids love the rainbow colors in their salads and on the salad bar. We purchase jalapeno peppers. Kids love those. Even kindergartners. We've served them to kindergartners, and they love them on their taco salads, and they love them if we do a pico de gallo. They really like them in there, and they just call them the baby hot peppers. So.
The Food Hub can move sweet potatoes year-round if we have them. They're a great storage crop. If they're cured properly, we can sell them into spring. There's always a demand.
Sweet potatoes are moved in 1 1/9 bushel boxes, 40 pounds. The most popular sweet potatoes that we sell are orange, but there's also a market for unusual varieties again. So purple flesh or white flesh sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes are becoming very popular because it's low on the glycemic effect, which is crazy because it's sweeter, but if you look at the science of it, it doesn't spike our insulin and our sugar in our body. But typically we buy the orange sweet potato, real simple. We'll cut them up, roast them, olive oil, salt, and pepper, and we'll serve those in a multitude of dishes. So we have sweet potatoes on all year round. It's just one of those things that we just always have all year.
We buy a handful of sweet potatoes locally, low volume. We could do more. I'd love to see more. Our sweet potato volume overall has grown in the last few years. Again, it's another one too. Organic in particular, we sell a decent amount of organic sweet potatoes. We have enough demand that if we found the right local partner, we could, in essence, buy their crop or a significant portion of it. We're not currently doing that, but our volume is there. I mean, we're buying truckloads of sweet potatoes every week out of the Carolinas primarily. If we were able to move some of that volume to local, we certainly could, increase that business with one or more growers. And so it really just depends on the opportunity. I mean, again, the demand's there. We just happen to not have a lot of local sweet potatoes flowing through our warehouse today, but that certainly can change.
Some of our ladies have actually made sweet potato pies, and we bake them and we'll offer them as a side item, and we'll give them butter and brown sugar and cinnamon, and a lot of students have never had a baked sweet potato before, so that's always fun to introduce that because we offer baked potatoes every day, and then during the fall we're able to offer the sweet potatoes. We have made sweet potato sticks before and put them in bento boxes, and we have made a dip to go with it that has yogurt and cinnamon and brown sugar, and the students really love eating them that way. one of the big things about purchasing local, it helps not only our school district, it helps the farmers, it helps our economy locally and statewide. I also feel that purchasing local, our students learn more, and I think they appreciate more when they know and they can meet farmers. We have farmers come to our schools. We'll have them come and talk to the students. We'll do taste testing with the students. And I think when they meet the farmers and the farmers can explain to them what their lives are, you know, what goes into producing these fruits and vegetables, that it tells a story to them, and students learn so much more when they can relate to something. When they meet that farmer and know that that farmer grew those peppers or they grew those tomatoes, that it means so much more to them than just this came from a grocery store. It educates them to eat healthy, to make healthier choices, and to really think about where their food comes from. And also it helps them to understand, to appreciate the food more, that when they take something they need to eat it and not just throw it away. And also, I think it helps them want to start growing things. We have a high need right now and a lot of requests for school gardens. And I think that has come from some of the local farmers telling the kids, you know, the work they put into it, the appreciation they have from the school districts for being able to provide fresh produce. So I just think it gives them a great awareness of where our food comes from.
The Food Hub is working to grow the middle market. That's the area in the local produce market that can weather a little higher price point. They are educated and love local food. It's a matter of coordinating that and being able to provide them the volume, the standard of quality, and the consistency that they require in their business.
As far as the requirements of working with Liberty, you know, we're pretty straightforward. We require GAP certification. We require, you know, insurance like everyone else and proof of all of those things. You know, as far as beyond the actual paper certifications, you know, that's where we're really willing to work with people. We know that when we're dealing with a large grower in California, they have a sales department, they have a shipping department, warehouse management systems, all these different things, right? When we're dealing with a local farmer, we're often dealing with one person that's all of those things. And if you have the proper food safety and your product quality is there, one of the things that I think we're really good at, our procurement team is good at, and our sales team too, work very closely with a lot of our local farmers because they want to understand how to promote their story and their product to our customers, is that we're willing to, I think, go that extra mile in helping that grower logistically. So we'll pick up. We have trucks out every single day, you know, lots of them. And we always try to backhaul so that way the farmer doesn't have to deliver to us. We can pick up. You know, as far as communications go, we understand that, you know, we're not always going to get somebody to answer the phone on the other end because they might be out in the field doing whatever, you know, work is that actually runs their business. And so we have a certain understanding when we go into these relationships with local growers that, as I said at the outset, probably the most important thing that we've stressed with our buyers is that it's different. There's a reason we're doing it. There's a value proposition there, but it's different. And in our case, I think we need to take on more of the administrative roles when we're dealing with the local growers than we do with others, and we're more than willing to do that. It's worth it. It's worth it for us, and it's worth it for our customers.